Troy's Everyday Eats brought to you by Motown Spice Provisions, servicing Charlotte area.
I won't cut you off like that. Chef Troy, welcome back to Rising. I am in the kitchen and you're skipping breakfast this morning. We're going straight to supper with this dish.
Right, and it's something, you can do any night of the week, obviously, but, sometimes, with the sun being, it's lighter longer, you eat later. You probably don't because you probably go to bed early. But for those of us who with normal schedules, you might eat a little later. So, you want something that's kind of quick and fast and maybe not quite as heavy. So that's kind of what we're doing today. We're going to do, in 8 o'clock, we're going to do a Brussels sprout salad with a warm bacon vinaigrette. That's why everybody's been coming and going, you cooking bacon? You cooking bacon? I guess it's
you always do, though.
I do. Sometimes I just spray like a bacon air scent, but whatever.
No, you always have the good stuff.
So the main part of this dish is going to be shrimp, and we're going to do like kind of a peel and eat kind of thing. They've got the shell on them, but they're split down the back, and they've already been deep-food, as Naomi has pointed out. Deep-food. The reason why I've got them on a sheet tray with a paper towel is because we want to get those dry. So you get them from wherever you get them. And if they're in ice or, even if they were previously frozen or whatever, there's just going to be a little damp. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, pat them dry, just get them all ready to go. And then what we'll do is we'll get them all seasoned. We're going to season them with some blackened seasoning. We'll do that here in a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's do that now if I can find my blackened seasoning. So that way they'll start marinating. So some people say, why on the shell? Because, you can't eat the shell. You could, I guess, if you fried it or whatever. But it does a couple things. It helps when you're cooking it. With the shrimp has contact with the pan, it could make it a little tough. Even if you cook it perfectly, it could make it a little tough. But this way, it's in the pan, it kind of steams inside the shell. And then when you eat it, anything that's on the outside of the shell is going to get your fingers.
That's what I thought it was. I was like, I thought it's just because you could lick your fingers after you peel.
That's part of it, but it will get underneath the shell, but it'll actually protect it and kind of steam it when it's cooking. So we'll let those just kind of hang out. We definitely just want those to, we'll mix them. I won't get my hands in there. I don't want to get them dirty just yet. All right, so what we're going to do with these, we're going to saute them in a pan. We're going to make a butter sauce with some garlic chili. You ever smell that? Do you ever use that?
Oh, hello.
Yeah. And it's, it's garlic and chili is exactly what it is.
Really
so
good.
you think it's going to be, super, super hot, and if you ate it just like that, it
with a
would
spoon?
Be. With a spoon, it would be. But there is a little bit of sweetness to the peppers as well. But what we'll do is when we build the sauce in the pan, we're going to add some butter to it, which is going to mellow it out, some white wine, a little bit of lemon juice, some sesame oil. So I'm going to take some scallions, and I'm not going to cut these super small. I want these kind of big. As they cook in the sauce, they'll soften. They'll help flavor the sauce. Like that. We'll put some of those in there. And, I like green onions just because of the flavor, but I also kind of like the way they look, too. So I have to say, if you put just white onions in there, it's not going to look quite the same. But you'll still get the same effect as far as the flavor goes.
Chef Troy, concerned about flavor and appearance.
Well, yeah, because, you got to take a picture. You got to post it on Instagram, all that stuff.
If it's not a beautiful looking meal, don't even bother.
Let me take a picture before you eat.
Yeah. We'll get a picture before we eat this, too.
Of course.
Oh, I can't wait for that Brussels sprout salad. Never thought I would say that I love Brussels sprouts as much as I do now. Chef Troy is working on a light dish for supper. How's it going, Troy?
Hey, it's going really good. Julianne, when you were in here, we got the shrimp marinated with a little bit of dry spice and blackened seasoning, so we're letting those hang out a little bit. We're getting ready to start cooking some bacon because we're going to make a warm bacon vinaigrette. We've got part of our sauce put together. When we come back, we're going to finish putting the sauce together. We're going to start on those shrimp. We got to stay right here, all right?
7:40 now. We're back in the kitchen with Chef Troy, and I was just thinking, doing something light summer is especially good when you go on vacation. Say you're gone for a week, and you just eat and eat and eat, and then you need something different. Right. You need to back off a little bit.
And that I wasn't even thinking about this, but even if you go on vacation, if you got a little rental house or something like that, this would actually do this. Especially if you go to the coast, you get some nice fresh shrimp. So I've got the shrimp. They're split down the back, so they're not peeled. They're just deveined.
Okay.
Shell on. We put some blackened seasoning on it. We're just going to let those hang out. And we were talking about our favorite ways to eat shrimp, and yours is fried.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Popcorn shrimp. I got it.
Then how do you even know it's shrimp? It could be chicken.
It would not be the consistency of chicken. That would be bad shrimp.
I got a better solution for you. We're going to saute them. We're going to make this really cool sauce we're going to get to here in a second.
Well, you have bacon, so you got me sold on
bacon. We're going to go in with that. So we're going to make a bacon vinaigrette.
Okay.
We're going to use the bacon drippings, and obviously we're going to use the bacon to put on top. But we're going to do a Brussels sprout salad with the warm bacon vinaigrette, so if I didn't explain that. So we're going to cook the shrimp here in a little bit, but we've got to get the sauce together. And this is something you could do a day ahead of time. It'll keep in the refrigerator for a long time. You know, we've already, basically this is just chili garlic sauce that you would buy, like sambal or something at the grocery store. I've just added some green onions, some nice big chunks of green onions, because we got to make it look good.
Got to have that color.
Right, so we're going to take a little bit of cilantro to add to this. We'll keep some of it for a garnish afterwards, but nice and rough chopped. It doesn't have to be anything too fine. Just want to run your knife through it. Throw that in there like this.
What if I don't have cilantro? Any other option that I might have in the...
Parsley, thyme.
Okay.
You know, mint actually might even be bad in this. I'm not a huge fan of mint, but probably the right amount of that would be a really good balance. Then we're going to throw in some white sesame seeds. And then sesame oil. I love it. It's something like that. That bacon's cooking. This is still, to me, the only thing I can smell. So I'm going to put a little bit of that goes a long way. So we're going to add just a little bit. And then I'll fresh squeeze some lemon juice. We'll put all that in there. So, okay, so here's the thing. We're going to add some white wine, but we're going to add it as we're cooking the shrimp. So once we, just kind of the rundown on how we're going to do the shrimp, we're going to melt some butter in a pan. We're going to put the shrimp in there all in one layer. And then we're going to add the sauce and the white wine. We're going to let it cook down just a little bit. And then we're going to add more butter and mount it. And then it's just going to cook in there. So, like, the shells are on there, so it's actually going to kind of steam the shrimp on the inside, but that sauce is kind of going to get in with the shell, inside the shell and all that stuff. So then when you eat it, you get it all over your face, and your fingers and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you're not a fan of this, you obviously could do it without the shell on, but to me, it just makes the shrimp just a little bit tough. On the outside. You know, these are just like kind of like a peel and eat shrimp, or like a warm shrimp cocktail or something like that. So this kind of sauce. So I took some green onions and I just took them, I sliced them, cut them in big chunks, and then I just sliced them up. So we're going to use that for a garnish. Let's see, I got to get to these Brussels sprouts real quick before we go. All right, so the Brussels sprouts, I got a mandolin. If you don't have a mandolin, you can use a knife. But you just want to get these nice and thin. If you have a food processor, there's a little attachment that probably came with it you don't know what to do with. Read the instructions. That would be a good way. That would be a good way to slice these. So if you don't have a mandolin, a knife, probably the best way to do it is maybe cut it in half so you've got a little bit of, you know, it's a little sturdier. Hey, why you?
There was a fly. So
okay. I was like, why are you beating up? Why are you beating up on the Brussels sprout, man? So we'll get these all cut nice and thin. When we come back, we'll finish up the dressing. We'll start cooking those shrimp, and then you'll see where this is all.
Yeah, I just, for the sake of it, was just trying to like toss.
That's right, and we're moving along quite nicely. We've got our shrimp marinated with a little bit of blackened seasoning on top of those. We've got all of our Brussels sprouts cut for the Brussels sprout salad. Those in the refrigerator, just kind of hanging out. We got our sauce made for our shrimp. Everything's going to come together. You got to stay right here. We're going to start sauteing the shrimp, put that vinaigrette together. Next on Troy's Everyday Eats. Thank you, guys.
All right, and during the break, Chef Troy was tossing butter almost like you were playing cornhole.
Right. we're gonna do that again.
Okay, do it. There you go.
All right, so we got a nice hot pan.
All right.
We're gonna add some butter.
You had 3 points.
I win. All right, Terrence, I'm gonna have you put the shrimp in there. Just kind of swirl this around.
Now these are not. So these are still shell, right?
Still shell on. Just split down the back so they'll be easier to split. You got to have a nice hot pan. We toss them with like a Black King seasoning. It's our Motown Spice blackfish seasoning. And that's going to kind of help season it, but we're going to build a sauce right in the pan.
Okay.
You can just dump them in there and then flatten them out.
Flatten them out.
There you go.
Be careful. Right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Now, I asked you if you could do this, if you were up for the task, and you said you were.
And I just got burned.
Okay. All right. So you and I are going to make the vinaigrette for the Brussels sprout salad. So that's bacon drippings.
Okay.
A cup of that. And then we're going to put, let's go ahead and put the garlic in there too. Now this is just on a very low.
Very low, right?
Here, I'm going to give you that.
Thank you.
Kind of whisk that around a little bit. And you should start to smell the garlic. And then we're going to add a little bit of Dijon mustard. So it's a warm bacon vinaigrette. We'll get all that mixed in, then we'll start adding some of the other stuff.
Okay.
We're actually going to go ahead and add some pepper now. And
what would happen if this was too high as we're putting this together? Separate or
nothing really.
Okay.
And you know, it can emulsify, but even if it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
But once you get all that mustard incorporated in there, then we've got some vinegar that we're going to add in there. You good, T?
I'm good.
Okay. See, now they're starting to get a little pinker on the edges, which is good, but we're still
not time to flip yet.
Not time just yet. So we're going to add some apple cider vinegar to that. And then just to incorporate some of the rest of that oil, so we don't add all bacon, there's a little bit of corn oil we'll whisk in there. And also I like to have a little Put crushed red pepper in there like that. So,
Smells good.
yeah, I love. That's one of my favorite dressings, like ever in the history of evers.
Wow.
In the history of Evers.
All right, see, I'm gonna put a little bit of. I'm gonna reach across you here.
Okay.
So we're gonna add some of this sauce. Now, this was the chili garlic sauce, green onions, the sesame oil, little sesame seeds.
And then white wine is going to...
Yeah, white wine. We'll put that. Be careful, T.
You got all this.
Shake it around. Shake it around. Now we can go ahead and flip the shrimp.
Okay.
And then once that reduces a little bit, we're going to add the rest of this butter.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
gonna
a
make the
sign.
sauce.
That's a sign it's clearer, Troy. Yeah.
Don't breathe right now. Don't anybody breathe. All right, now see how that came together? That's
Yeah, it looks
perfect.
great.
We're going to leave it on a nice low heat. We come back together. We'll put the Brussels sprout salad together. You'll see how to finish the sauce, and then we'll eat.
Yeah, it kind of resembles an Italian dressing when it's done, even though it's much better. All right, ladies, we'll send it back to you guys. We're going to...
You good, T?
we're going to try to
All
catch
of
our
this is
breath.
clear
Said
right
you
now.
wanted to do it. I don't know. Hey, good morning, everybody. Chef Troy here in the Rising Kitchen, putting it all together. We're working on our light summer supper. We're going to start with the shrimp. So these are the Cajun Asian shrimp. So we're going to just take these out and tell you how we built them. So these are shell on, split in the back, so you definitely got to peel them. If you don't want to do the shell on, I get that, but this is just kind of part of the fun for me. It also kind of helps steam the shrimp in the shell, and the sauce gets underneath the shell and flavors it. So the sauce was chili garlic, a little bit of cilantro, some onion, sesame oil. We're going to get all these on there. So the peel and eat thing is just definitely for me. So now what we want to do is we want to take all this sauce, the chili garlic, drizzle this over the top. So you've got some in the bottom so we can serve it with that grilled toast over there. You got something to dip your shrimp in. You got something to dip the toast in. On the side, we've got a little bit of salad. That was the Brussels sprouts that was shaved nice and thin. We toss it with the bacon vinaigrette. We're going to add some bacon to the top, maybe a few radishes around, some feta cheese on the top. And then over here, we're going to hit it with some sesame seeds and maybe even just a few peanuts on the salad. Like that. We'll serve the shrimp with some toast. When we come back, we're going to get a taste on the couch. I'm going to start working on some plates right now. We'll be back right after this.
Might be good to try out maybe a new recipe like the one that we have in front of us here. Chef Troy, this looks really good.
Now, I peeled your shrimp for you.
You are so
But
kind.
That's awesome.
Normally, we cooked them with the shell on. That way the sauce kind of gets on the shell and in the shell. We did a little Brussels sprout salad with smoked bacon vinaigrette. And all that sounds real fancy, but it like comes together in minutes. It literally does.
delicious.
And some of it you can do a day ahead of time, like the sauce and all. I have a question for Nicole real quick. Since it's going to rain for 5 days, does that mean you get the rest of the week off? Because you don't need to come in.
That would be great, yeah.
I was just curious.
Don't
I was,
say that.
No, I was watching it.
Don't get any ideas,
I was trying to
anybody.
get her some time off.
Yeah,
We need her. Definitely do. So we always love talking about Meghan Markle and all the updates with the royal family. Apparently, Meghan Markle's guilty pleasure food is French fries.
French fries.
French fries. Do you have a guilty pleasure food?
Peanut M&M's.
Peanut M&Ms.
Yes, my favorite.
Ooh, yum. Anyone else?
How about you?
Waffle fries. Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Fries. Fries are actually mine too. Yeah.
I just don't think they're a guilty pleasure. No, just always get the fries. Yeah.
They're not a normal thing. Well, not for this busy.
Oh, I love this. This is not a guilty pleasure, that's for sure.
so good.
Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.